Good morning. How are you? We are going in with the bang today. Are you ready to lift? Welcome to the lift. You gotta own it, baby. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy January 10th, 2022. Can you believe it's a new year? I am starting this new year with a new word and a new intention. Forget about those resolutions. I've decided that they're just too finite for me. Because I don't know about you, but I get kind of upset when I set a resolution and then I break a resolution. So I'm going to give you a little few minutes of inspiration, maybe motivation to get you going forever what you want to accomplish on this, oh my gosh, Monday, January 10th, 2022. All right, so there's a little quote in this It's Always Seems Impossible Until It's Done book. And it says, if you want a job and you're not as good as the next guy, then work longer than the next guy, work faster, be there before him because talented people show up late. Ooh, talented people show up late. Okay, how many people can relate to that? Guilty as charged. One of the things on my list this year, I don't know about you, but procrastination? Maybe. I'm trying to be more punctual. Now, I am a deadline driven person, and I always have been professionally. I'm not going to be late for a live shot or late for a job or late for an assignment or a shoot. But I have to tell you, when it comes to other things in my life, like showing up to meet friends for a walk or meeting someone for coffee or things that aren't absolutely detrimental to my success as a human being, I kind of let that deadline relax. Are you a little bit like me in this way? Let me know. And by the way, if you are here, say hello because I love to hear who's here. Hear who's here. And sometimes this Restream app, which by the way, I am broadcasting on, does not show me who is showing up. But I'm here to say Happy New Year to you. And whatever it is that you want to accomplish this year, you can. You got to put it out there. You got to set your goals, set your intentions. So, what I'm doing this year is I'm setting intentions instead of resolutions. Excuse me. And I'm changing my perspective because this is the coolest kaleidoscope, by the way. And as you spin it, all these different circles change, and it changes your perspective on how you view the world. And it's all in how you frame things. So, how are you framing the words that you're using in your life? I could have called this show Free Fall, but no, I called it The Lift. And there's a reason why I called it The Lift because I want to lift you up. I want to help you lift. I want to lift myself up. And I want to do that by connecting to you. So, my word of the year for 2022 is connect. And one of the ways that I am activating my word, because you can just have a word. Hey, Brian, thanks so much for joining. But if you don't activate your word, what good is it? When I used the word last year, shine, it was an acronym for show up, help, inspire, notice, and elevate. I kept that word in the back of my mind. I kept referring to that word. How can I implement the word shine this year? How can I shine? Well, I had a couple of personal projects and professional projects, and I honored that word. But this year, I've changed my word up to connect. And because I believe that everybody needs to connect with one another, I know that's what I need. So I'm putting it out there to the universe. That's my word, connection and collaboration. So, how many of you have done a vision board? This is my brand new vision board for 2022. I know you might be thinking, all these things are little gimmicks, right? Okay, it's how you frame your words, it's how you choose your perspective, it's, choosing that word of the year, it's making a vision board. But let me tell you, all these little things add up to being intentional about your life, about your goals, about what you're going after. So, some of the things I put on this board, little vision board, were travel, collaboration, creation, adventure. I'm ready to reach for the highest star in the sky. Actually, in this one, it says aim for the moon, but if you miss, you might hit a star. That's okay with me because I'm not aiming for perfection. I'm aiming to get closer to what I want in life. How are you getting closer to what you want in life? What are your goals? Are you changing your job? Are you changing your career? Are you thinking about doing something different? How are you going to mix it up? How are you going to make this year count? How's your circle of friends? Is that circle working for you? You know what I mean? Those people in the inner circle, the closest people to you, and the medium circle, and then the outer circle. Do you need to shift your circle a little bit? This is important. These are the people that are around you constantly, providing you feedback, constant feedback. And is this circle suffocating you? Or is this circle enhancing your life? You got to ask those questions. And if it's not, you might need to pop somebody out of that circle. Welcome some new blood in. Won't you be my neighbor? All right, so this was a wonderful way to kick off the year. My son Ryan and I, and Bucky, who you don't hear barking right now, by the way, were featured on the cover of Guilford magazine. And we're very grateful that we had this opportunity. And it's so wonderful to be able to tell your story in a public way. And that rarely happens to me because I am typically telling everybody else's story as a video storyteller. Ooh, the sun just went in. Notice how my lighting changed. Uh, but anyhow, this was a wonderful opportunity. Uh, if you didn't get a chance to read the article because you don't live in Guilford, um, I have posted it on my social media channels. But I want to say that things aren't always the way they seem to appear, right? So perfect. So that was a wonderful opportunity. Um, Listen, it's already 2022, and we've already faced some challenges, but I'm not going to let those challenges ruin the start of this year. And I'm going to try to make this a good year because, darn it, I want this to be a good year. I want to also tell you something that I've been inspired by. So recently I started reading Katie Couric's new book, Going There. She does go there. And I would encourage you to pick someone that you love and buy their book and read their book because it's inspiring. So I'm in this book club and I don't really know if I'm in the book club anymore, but they keep sending me emails. So I think I'm still in it. But they decided to choose Katie Couric's book. And so I said, oh, yes, because I'm a nonfiction kind of girl. How many people out there are nonfiction only? I am so nonfiction. I don't know. I guess it's just the truth teller in me, the news reporter, the producer, the reality based person. So nonfiction just always resonates with me. And so Katie Couric, I've always admired her and she's always been a role model to me. And, people called her Perky. She has had so many, she's a funny writer and she's had so many different things happen to her. And I have to say that a lot of the things that she talks about in the book early in her career, I've experienced as well. And so I'm kind of getting a chuckle going back, reading this book and, uh, comparing notes, if you will. But one of the things that she talked about in this book was when she was interviewing for the Today Show. And she talks about how she was negotiating for the job. And I just want to read you a little excerpt because I thought that this was really like showed her chutzpah. So she says, okay, she's on this interview and her boss tells her potential future boss says, I'd like to replace Deborah on the Today Show. Whoa. Okay, she wasn't totally surprised. But here's the thing. All of a sudden, she had the audacity. Oh, I love it. Was it really audacity? No, she had the confidence to say to her boss, okay, well, and at the time, Brian Gumbel was the co host, right? So why was he always in charge of the show when Jane Pauley had been there longer? She was asking, right? So she was aware of the fact that, TV shows, ad billboards, magazine covers conditions us to really see gender roles in a certain way, right? And so it's a lot of where these implicit biases are sown. So she realized that something as benign as a morning show really, though, could shape the perception of what a woman could do and be. So after she was deliberating with her boss, she wanted to get as many interviews as Bryant Gumbel did, right? So she said, I want to split the big interviews 50-50. I don't want to just be doing like cooking shows and, fashion segments. And so her boss said, well, how about 49-51? And so then she said, close enough. And she felt like she had made her point. But then right after that, she said, oh, I almost forgot. I'm pregnant. I love it. I love how she just waited for the punchline there. Listen, Katie Couric is doing an incredible job. And she has this Katie Kirk Media Company, where she is inspiring other people to do acts of kindness. So she turned 65 this year. Cannot even believe it. So she's doing 65 acts of kindness. So I thought I would take a page out of that book and do, uh, you know, 22 acts of connection. So that's what I'm doing with this show, The Lift. I want to connect with you. And this is how I'm going to connect and hopefully collaborate with you in the future, is by showing up and being myself and giving you some inspiration and maybe making you laugh a little bit. By the way, this is my David Hasselhoff pet, chia seed pet head, whatever you want to call it. And I've watched this little creature grow. His his hair's a little messed up now, but over, like, let's say the last 10 days. And it started out, it was all gel and it was a gooey mess. If you eat chia seeds, you know what I mean. But over the few days, it has been growing and growing and growing, millimeters, millimeters, millimeters. And now it's like a couple of inches of growth, right? That's inspiration to me, because I'm looking at that chia pet, seeing this like microscopic growth every day. But if there's something that you go after, you want to go after, do the microscopic growth. It's not going to like happen like this overnight, but you need to celebrate that microscopic growth. And you need to know that the more effort you put in, even though it's maybe a micro effort, it will result in something if you keep at it. So Monday is a great day to start over. Monday is a great day to reinvent. So how are you going to reinvent? How are you going to go forward? What do you want to go after? How are you going to lift your life into the stratosphere in 2022? I don't know. I don't have all the answers, but I hope you'll join me in discovering the answers together. I'll see you next time on The Left.